expand structured volunteering opportunities alongside existing programs like internships, the Botswana National Service and Tirelo Sechaba. These initiatives aim to equip young Botswana with practical experience to foster civic responsibility, enhance employability and encourage active participation in socio-economic and cultural life. In studio this afternoon, I'm joined by founder and program manager of Volunteer Hub International Trust, Ms. Olerato Mathodi, to unpack the importance of structured volunteerism and how it links to employability, entrepreneurship and national development. A very good afternoon, Olerato, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for this opportunity to be here with you today.
Of course. Let's just get straight into understanding what structured volunteerism is and maybe just distinguish it from informal volunteering.
Okay. When you talk about structure, we mean where there are laws that would protect somebody's well-being, where we can account for something that we are talking about, where we can measure the impact.
Right.
So when you talk about structured volunteerism, we are anticipating a well-being of a person, the impact that volunteerism can contribute towards the development of Botswana.
Right, right. Now, how can we ensure that volunteer programs, more than just free labor, and that they are genuine opportunities for learning and for growth as well?
What was that again?
Sorry. How can we ensure that volunteer programs do not exploit those who volunteer, but rather, provide an environment for growth and, for learning as well?
Yeah, I think the most important thing, because volunteering has been there for a very long time and people still volunteer to this day, knowingly and unknowingly. But what we need is a policy framework that would protect the well-being of the people who are actually volunteering, so that it can also just not measure the impact that they are contributing towards the development of Botswana, but to also make sure that whatever that they are doing is accounted for. So I think basically a legal framework should accompany such an initiative as structured volunteerism.
And yeah, volunteering has been there for quite some time, and we find that some institutions get to a point of exploiting these young people who come on board to volunteer, to seeking opportunity for employment, seeking opportunity for growth, to learn more about a certain field that they have taken an interest in. I love that structured volunteerism now will come with laws and policies that will ensure that we do not see this exploitation happening. Right. Let's talk about Volunteer Hub International Trust. What are some of the key things that you have noted over the years when we talk about volunteerism in our country?
First of all, I'll talk about the great impact that volunteer has on individuals, on the nation as well. For a mere individual, is a win-win situation. It's not free labor as such, as people say it. There's a benefit towards the volunteer and towards the organization that should be volunteering for. So that gives both an opportunity for growth. And we've seen that with a lot of volunteers who we have placed around the country in different organizations. Some are even absorbed now into meaningful jobs that they can, that are sustainable as rather. And we have also seen towards the development of the nation. When I talk about Volunteer Hub, we have influence just having this structurism of volunteerism. We did facilitate for the African Union to come and capacitate the government through the Ministry of Youth and Gender Affairs about volunteer programming as well as policy making for volunteerism.
Right.
So those are the kind of impact that you would see volunteerism comes through, and all of these initiatives are done through a voluntary initiative.
Right.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Olerato, at this point, there's a growing frustration of lack of jobs, and one might wonder or might take an interest in understanding where volunteerism links with employability, taking note of the fact that most times we find that these volunteers are not necessarily absorbed into those institutions that they volunteer for. What can we say about that?
So now that's where structure comes in. That's where policy comes in, to be avoided of such situations, so that we, with the policy, we would ensure that there is transition when it comes to volunteerism. And also the most important thing is that the volunteerscape, it gives an opportunity not to just give traineeship, but to also look into the market. What is it that the market needs? What is it that the industry needs? And then you place volunteers where the industry is needed. We have to co-design, not just as the government or as civic society organizations. We have to co-design all this to package it such that there is smooth transition into employment. Volunteerism alone cannot create jobs, but when it is co-designed with what the need is, there is a possibility of high for growing employment.
Right. And Olerato, there's a lot of misconceptions surrounding volunteerism. If we could just, note them, and on your end also, just explain to us how you have been working as Volunteer Hub International Trust to break these misconceptions.
First one I would say is that people feel like volunteerism is charity. It's not charity. Volunteerism, like any other initiative or activity, needs a budget. There is an expectation that when you talk about volunteering, you expect a volunteer to spend from their pockets. But as an organization, or as the one who needs volunteer services, you have to meet volunteers halfway. Ensure that the basics are met. Transport, food, merchandise, all those basics should be met. So that's one misconception. And then the other one is that is for rich people. But in fact, it's for everyone, like it should be an inclusive thing. And for us at Volunteer Hub, if I can tell you, since we've started, we've always been self-funding. But you find that it is possible because it's an initiative that is, it's not an expensive initiative, so you can find ways of going around it and making an impact towards the development of the country.
Right, lovely. Now, what innovations or digital tools can you use or can you employ in order to enhance youth engagement in volunteer initiatives?
When it comes to digital space in volunteerism, I think the fun thing about it is that, when you volunteer, you go towards your passion. And when your passion is within the digital space, by all means, do that. And that's where you can get to learn a lot about the spaces of AI, get to learn a lot about how can I best use my skills, how can I volunteer in another country while I am still in Botswana. So that's the fun thing about volunteerism as well. And you would see that there is connectedness and networking, not just in Botswana, but globally. So those are the kind of opportunities that we'd look into.
Right. And something that I've found very interesting is that when we talk international markets, right, they hold to a very high regard volunteerism. What's the current, how's the landscape looking in our country when we talk about volunteerism and, full understanding of volunteerism and how it can help one or advance one in the areas of interest?
It's so interesting because a lot of people are passionate about volunteering despite the controversies. There are a lot of, when we first opened up to have people volunteering, we had over 400 people within just 3 months of registrations.
Wow.
That's how interesting it is. Nationwide, people are interested in volunteering. But what now is the problem is there isn't support from financial structures. So that's where we need support from. The passion is there, the interest is there, but in Botswana's landscape, you find that it's not understood such that people feel like it's charity. So you do from your own, and it becomes expensive to somebody like a youth who doesn't have a job, but it's not supposed to be that way.
Right. Right, right. And I think that is the part that frustrates a lot of people when we talk about volunteerism, because many a times we attach work with financial benefit, and we overlook the other benefits that are there when we talk about volunteerism, which is networking, one that you mentioned back there. Let's talk about some of the programs or, other initiatives that you have under Volunteer Hub that have been quite a success in terms of networking young people and, just growing them.
Okay, our main thing at Volunteer Hub is to do volunteer placements. So volunteer placements can be within workshops, it can be within development in events, just the past week we had 32 of our volunteers being ushers at the Elevate Africa convening. So those are the kind of placements that we would do. And also just advocacy. So we are advocating to have structured volunteerism in Botswana in the form of having a policy framework. So those are the success stories that we will talk about and seeing the impact, the difference that it has done to our volunteers.
Speaking of impact, how have you been able to measure the impact of volunteerism on skills development and the economy?
Yeah. One of the ways is to just get feedback on what kind of skills did I get out of the placements that I was made, that I did, and just to document and have testimonials so that people can also take away from what other volunteers are doing. And not just that, the number of people that we have placed and the number of transitions that we have seen being progressed. So those are the kind of ways that we see impact, and we can say that yes, indeed, we are seeing a difference from just being a volunteer to now having a sustainable job.
Right, right. Let's talk long term. What's the vision? How do we want to see volunteerism in our country in years to come?
First of all, I think the most important is that we need that legal framework to protect our volunteers, to know that the impact that they are doing towards the development of the country, it is measured. That's one. And then we would like to have an index where we can measure the kind of contributions and many other things that volunteerism bring forth, to have ambassadors of volunteerism all around, and to say that we are connected with the private sector, with the government, to all work together towards a transition path for sustainable jobs through volunteerism.
Any final remarks, Olerato, in relation to this topic of discussion today?
I think my final remarks is that volunteerism has proven to work, not just in Botswana, but in many different countries, in South Korea, in Ghana, in Kenya. That the models that are used, and they have created great impact towards the transition of high unemployment rate to having sustainable jobs. Because at the end of the day, there is a gap of skills impact that we need towards the youth who need the jobs.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Well, there we have it. That was Ms. Olerato Mathodi, founder and program manager of Volunteer Hub International Trust, and we're on the topic of volunteerism and structured volunteerism that they're advocating for as Volunteer Hub, noting that volunteerism, there's a lot more to benefit from it, not just financially, but there's a lot more to get from it when we talk about skills development, when we talk about networking, and just a safe environment for you to grow in your area of passion or your area of interest. Botswana Television News follows at the top of the hour.
This historic moment of signing the MOU. Indeed, it marked